For me, I never had any bottle girl waitress experience at all. So I really was just talking out my ass pretty much. And I got the job.
By creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves.
What's up YouTube? It's your girl Icy Mona and I am back with another video, and today we are going to be talking about my experience working in a gentleman's club. So let's get into it. So first, let's start off with what is the difference between a strip club and a gentleman's club. So a strip club is a more, I would say, raunchier version than a gentleman's club. But the strip club, they have less rules of as far as what the dancers can wear, probably less rules regarding the customer and the relation with the dancer. The environment's just more like laid back and like night out with the boys type thing. And for a gentleman's club, it's a little bit more high class and formal. It's not your average Joe that's showing up. It's the businessmen, the drug suppliers, not dealers, suppliers, the rappers, the athletes, whatever. It's basically people with money. So why would I want to work at a gentleman's club? For me personally, it was always on my bucket list to be a bottle girl or cocktail waitress at a gentleman's club. So right when I turned 21, I had started looking and seeing if there are any openings for being a bottle girl. I don't know why, but the lifestyle just always really intrigued me. And from what I read, like obviously you're making way more money than you would working like a normal job, and I was in college at the time, so it's just something to just get me through and also, you know, have fun with it. So how did I land the job of being a bottle girl slash cocktail waitress at a gentleman's club? So basically, like I said, I already had wanted to be a bottle girl and work in that environment. So I went on Craigslist, and fortunately for me, there was a gentleman's club that was being rebuilt slash open right in downtown over where my college was. So I was like, cool, perfect. So me and my friends, we all applied. We had the interview very quick, and the tips that I can give for the interview is this. So obviously this is an interview for a gentleman's club. This is not an interview for a normal job, meaning the way you dress is going to be different. So don't be as formal as you would a normal job. At the same time, don't like slut it up completely. Have something in the middle. What I would say is wear something that accentuates, you know, your best features. So if you have a big ass, maybe wear a shorter skirt. Or if you have big boobs, maybe wear something that reveals your cleavage just a little bit. For me, I have neither of those, but I have very long model legs. So I wore like a short skirt and then like a basically formal top. Like literally my boss at the time, after I got hired, told me like, I hired you because you're pretty in the face and those legs, like I had to. I think for most interviews, most people don't want to like, you know, do too much because you're in the workplace, but here you got to do too much. So you really got to just doll up your face, go in there, have confidence, have sass. You know, if you don't know what you're doing, act like you know what you're doing. So now let's get into some of the pros from working at a gentleman's club and being a bottle girl. So the best thing about being a bottle girl is obviously the tips. Like you're getting way more tips than you would serving someone at like your local restaurant. The money, I would say, was good. And I would say this, your tips are gonna vary depending on location wise. So depending on what club you're at and what state. So for example, I'm in California, but I'm sure in Atlanta you would make way more money because stripping and dancing out there is way more respected than I feel like it is out here. Same with like Vegas. You're probably gonna make way more tips than you would in like Colorado or like I said, in California. So for me in particular, I was in the Bay Area, so that made a difference too. If I probably was in like Southern California, I feel like I could make more. So it really all depends on the location, the club, the venue itself, if they have a good rep, bad rep. So yeah, with that being said, tip wise, I did make a good amount. Every night average, I say I would take home about 100 to 200 in tips. And the most that I ever made in tips while working there was about a little over 500 in just one night. So yeah, that money was good. One thing I can say, I do feel like if you're a bartender, you'll probably end up being on the top, even with the dancers, because some nights us bottle girls, we made more than the actual dancers themselves. But the bartenders, that's where the money is really at. Like literally my roommate at the time, we both worked at the same place, and she was making like probably 300 to 400 a night. She was making like at her highest 800 in one night off tips. So like bartending, I will say, like, that's where it's at. Another thing too, with bottle service, you get commissions. So we all know these bottles are hella taxed. You got a regular bottle going for like 500 bucks and you're gonna commission on top of that. So you got the commission, your tips, and your actual like pay that you get. Like it literally, yeah. Okay, another pro is that it overall is an easy job. So like I said before, I never had been a waitress before or anything like that, but it wasn't that hard to grasp the concept. You know, you're basically serving your tables, bringing out bottles, dancing, like all that. And the main component of being like a bottle girl and working in this industry is being flirtatious. You're literally getting paid to flirt with the customers. And for me personally, I'm a Libra, so I mean, I do this every day, but for real, like you're getting paid to flirt with customers. So if you're comfortable with that and that's how you naturally are, or you could put on that front, then like you're solid. Like that's literally, they're paying you to flirt with people. And the thing about this, not to diss guys out there, not all guys are the same, but let's be honest, guys are stupid when they get drunk and they're around a bunch of girls. So it's so easy to finesse a client and get more tips. All you gotta do is walk up, just flirt with him a little bit. Maybe you got your dancer right there and she's your friend or something. Y'all just all in his face, whatever. Like, you know, you just bullshitting. You just selling him the dream. You telling him what he wants to hear. And in result of that, you're about to get tips and you may get a regular customer. Another thing too, with it being like an easy going job, is like you just gotta play your role. Now for me, like I said, at the time, I was in college, but when I was working there, because I have like such a baby face, a lot of clients would be surprised and be like, oh my gosh, like what are you doing working here? And I'd be like, oh, like I'm in college, I'm getting my degree and blah, blah, blah. That right there alone made me get more tips. You want to know why? Because everybody loves a good sob story, right? Everybody likes to see the person working hard and going for their dreams. Even if you're not in college, literally just lie and say you're in college. I guarantee you, your customers will tip you way more because they see you really out here grinding. So like, you just got to play your role, and that's a good role to play. So another pro about this, like I kind of already discussed before a little bit, is like the finesse of it all. Like girls nowadays like, oh, I finessed him. No, you don't know about no real finesse until you work at a gentleman's club or a strip club, because I'm telling you, you will be put on real game. One of the best tips I can give is to try to get cool with some of the dancers, because the dancers will help you finesse together. The dancers already know how to finesse on their own when it comes to, you know, doing their thing. But if you're cool with the dancer out there, she's trying to finesse dude to get a private room, and then y'all are cool. She's like, okay, come wait my table. So then now you and her are finessing together. Like they will literally put you on so much game. All right, so the cons. Yeah, with everything there are pros and there's cons, and there are a few cons. I'm gonna be real about them. One of the cons is it's the obvious, is basically the personal space or touching between the clients and you. So obviously you are working in a gentleman club or strip club where there are naked women around you and shaking ass and all that, and guys are coming in there, depending on your club if they allow alcohol, but they're coming in there and they're getting drunk. So yeah, there may be situations where a guy may touch you inappropriately or just do too much, and I just feel like in regards to that, it's a kind of on you situation. Like not everybody is okay with the same thing, whatever, vice versa. So if you feel like a client is taking it too far, then you have every right to be like, no, you're doing too much, whatever, or tell your manager. If you don't care if a client touches you on the shoulder or like, I don't know, caresses your leg, and you're cool with that, then you cool with that. It's really like an on you type thing. But obviously going into it, you do have to know that some of that stuff may happen. For me personally, I really didn't have to deal with the male clients. It was a lot more of the female clients who was like on me. Like when I would serve their table, they'll be like, oh, like, can I tip it in your cleavage? Can I, like, you know, like they were like more so on me. And the dancers too. Like when I was working there, the dancers, they were on me, but I was cool with them, so I wasn't really tripping like that. You know, I'm part of like the little booty committee, you feel me? My shit's, you know, kind of perky or whatever. So whenever I'd be on the floor working, like literally dancers would just walk by and like slap my ass or like grab my ass. But like I said, I was cool with them, like, because we worked together, so I knew it wasn't like no weird shit. Another con is that it's late nights. So if you're a late night person, you like to go out all the time on the weekends with your friends, this is probably not the job for you, because you're going to be working majority weekends and it is going to be late. Some clubs run 24 hours, some run till 4 p.m., some run till like 4 a.m. Some run till 2 a.m. and you got to be okay with that. For me, that was the hardest thing because I do like going out. I like turning up with my friends and doing hood rat shows with my friends, and I couldn't do that because I was at work. So I was kind of bummed out, even though at work it still is like a party, but it's like, you know, at the end of the day you're working. So that's one thing you got to be comfortable with: late hours and weekends. The other con is the money. So yeah, I mentioned that pro was the money, but another con is the money. I feel like when you're making so much money, and especially because you're making tips and you're seeing it all out cash for yourself, I personally, for me, feel like it does reach a point where you could possibly get addicted to the money. I feel like it's just like in the drug game. Like you got these small drug dealers, they're making a little bit of money and then they start making more, and then they start asking themselves, well, can I make more than I did last month? Well, can I up it again? Let's see how far I can go. And that's kind of how I started playing with the money. Like once I made like 300 in one night in tips, I was like, okay, bet, now I want to make more. And you can get kind of like addicted to the money, you know, and not all money is good money. And for me, like, I'm just extra as fuck. So I liked coming home with like a stack of like ones and hella money, and like going to the bank and me having all this money and then being like, so what do you do for a living? And be like, oh, I'm a bottle girl. Like, that's just me being extra, but the money does come addicting, period. Another thing you're going to have to deal with is the jealousy. So when I first got the job, one of the first things that my boss told me was like, hey, like some of these dancers may be jealous of y'all bottle girls because not only are y'all like, you know, getting money like them, but you're not having to like strip, you're fully clothed. And some of them, that will get to them and they may, you know, have a funky day with you, whatever. So like, and that makes sense. So you do have to deal with that from the dancers sometimes, and even jealousy within your staff. Because if you have more regular customers than somebody else, or if you making more tips, because at the end of the night we would all be like, okay, how much you make, how much you make, how much you make. You know, if you over here making big bucks every night more than like your fellow employees, yeah, it may be some jealousy. But at the end of the day, being a girl, there's gonna be jealousy everywhere. Like if you a pretty girl, at least, like, you should be used to it by now. A biggest con for me is rumors. So normally with a strip club or gentleman's club, the dancers don't normally live in the area that they work in, which would make sense. But most of the employees, bartenders, doormen, bottle girls, we like live where we work for the most part. And being in college just mainly pertains to yeah, it's probably gonna get out. And that's the thing, I always be thinking, oh, it can be me, no one's gonna find out. Literally the first night that we opened, I saw somebody who went to my school and he was known in like the Black community at my school, and I was just like, fuck, like this is gonna get out. And the thing about that, just being honest, like you are gonna have to go in with the fact, knowing that even though you're a bottle girl or you're a cocktail waitress or even a bartender, because you work where you work, people are automatically going to assume you are a stripper or you're doing some shit on the side. They may not say it to their face, but let me tell you, they're definitely thinking of it. Me personally, like I said, like I like the environment. I was a dancer growing up doing ballet, jazz and stuff, so pole dancing as a whole always intrigued me from a dancer's mindset. But yeah, I had a lot of people who I'm sure thought I was a stripper and probably was, you know, people are stupid. They're gonna put 20 on 10. They're gonna hella just do extra, knowing damn well they know what position you are, but just gonna be out there just fronting on you, capping, and like, oh, she's a stripper, she blah blah blah. Like, so you just got to deal with that. And that's one of those, it's on you things. If it gets you, if it gets you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it does, it's understandable, but you know what you're putting yourself in when you got the job, you know? Another con is peer pressure. Now, you will face some peer pressure from the dancers. That's kind of the obvious. When I worked there, majority of the dancers were trying to get me to become a dancer. Were trying to get me to get ass shots, like just random stuff. And like I said, it's one of those on you things. If you think you're gonna be influenced by somebody else and end up dancing, then you know that's what it is. If you want to be a dancer, then you gonna be a dancer. If you not, then you not. It's on you. Mind over matter. Another con is relationships. Now, if you're in a relationship at this time, this may test your relationship, because you may have some guys out there who are like, I don't want my girl working in this environment. I don't want people touching her. You may have some guys who are cool with it. You may have some guys who are going to be like, I'm gonna break up with you if you continue to work there. And what I say to that is literally fuck them. The reason why I say fuck him, fuck that nigga on some real shit is because y'all may not even last. So you go over here and you quit your job and then y'all break up a couple months later. Like, it's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, this was pointless. So no, do it for at the end of the day, you're doing this job for yourself. Fuck everybody else around you. If you want to do this, then do it. If you don't, then don't. Simple. So to wrap it up, I would say overall, like, working there, I really did enjoy it, obviously for the money, but it was fun. I made new friendships. I got put onto low-key a different lifestyle. Like, it just really opened my eyes around me. I just kind of liked working there, that it kind of automatically gave me like this bad bitch vibe. Like, you work at a gentleman's club, you're a bottle girl, like, yeah, I'm that bitch. But not for real, like, you a bad bitch. So that's the end of my video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe, and follow me on my socials, and tap back in with me for another video.